Hello and welcome to this series of videos designed to help you to create your own pieces of dance music using specific techniques that you're going to be assessed on. First piece of music we're going to do together is in a house music style. You'll have a chance later on to choose a different genre of dance music, whichever you want, but to start with, everyone is going to create a piece of house music. The first technique I'm going to show you, and the first thing we need to show that we can do together, is to pencil in a drum beat, pencil in a house dance rhythm. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to open up Logic Pro X. You'll know by now where to find that in your dock, and you'll probably know by now how to open up a new empty project and name and save it in the right way, but I'm going to run through that with you while Logic Pro X opens, and here it comes. Okay, we might get a box that comes up, or a couple of boxes that come up that we have to click through, like this one. We can just cancel that, and here is our opportunity to select a new empty project. Sometimes Logic Pro may open. You'll know it's open because it will show you up here in the top left of the screen that it's open, but you may see nothing on the screen, in which case you would go to File up here and click New to create your empty project. And I'm going to do it like this. Now, as you know by now, Logic will ask you if you want a software instrument or an audio track to start with, or you get these other options. These other options, drummer, external MIDI, guitar or bass, we're not dealing with at the moment. We have got a choice really for us between software instrument and audio. And because we're going to use sounds that are in the software, and we're going to pencil them in, program them in, we're going to use a software instrument. So that's what you need to create. Now with my version of Logic here, automatically it puts in an electric piano for me. And I can see it there, and I can see it here in this box. On yours, this box might be grey and it might say instrument, but this is where we need to go. And we need to click on this box here. As I say, yours may say instrument, and we need to select the Ultrabeat drum synth. There it is, and we select a stereo version of the Ultrabeat drum synth. Look carefully on that list, it will be there somewhere. And then it will open up like this, and this looks interesting and complicated. We don't need to worry too much about that at the moment, except because we're making house music, we're going to select some house music drum sounds. So I'm going to come into the menu over here, click and hold, and go to drum kits. And then we've got this big list of drum kits. And somewhere in here, we should find some kits that say house. Deep house kit, there's one there, electro house kit. It's up to you. Choose one of them that has house in its title. I'm going to go for a deep house kit, and that's going to give us some nice house drum sounds. When you've done that, you can just click that to close it down, so we don't need to deal with that bit now. What we're going to do is use the pencil tool to make our 4 on the floor house music drum beat. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to select my pencil tool from this left hand toolbox, and there it is. And I'm going to come over here next to where it says Deep House Kit, and I'm going to click in that box, and that makes an empty region, an empty space for us to add some notes. When you've done that, you need to double click on this empty region that you've created, and make sure you do it near the top of the empty region, not near the bottom. You go near the bottom, you're going to get that plus symbol, and that's going to make cuts and do things that we don't want it to do. So you go near the top and you get the pointy arrow, double click, and that's going to open up our piano roll editor, which you've probably seen before. I'm scrolling that upwards to give me a bit more space. I'm also coming over here to these magnifiers, and I'm making everything a little bit bigger, vertically and horizontally, so I can see more clearly what's going on. That's a good size for me. Now, luckily for us, we've got the names of the different drum instruments here. And that's happened because we've selected the Ultrabeat as our sound source. So I can see that next to this note here is our kick drum sound, smooth kick. And I can hear that. There's a tambourine there, a hard snare, snare clap, and so on. We can see the names of the instruments. If you can't for some reason, come up to this button View and click Drum Names, and they should come up for you. But luckily I can see them. Right, let's begin penciling in our house dance drum rhythm. We need the pencil. We're going to select our left-hand tool menu, and there's the pencil. You'll remember that the kick drum pattern in most dance music is what we call a 4 on the floor. In other words, the kick drum plays on each beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You might have some variations, but I'm going to pencil in to start with just a pure 4 on the floor kick drum rhythm. I need to pencil in a note there. I'm going to leave 3 boxes blank. Another note. 3 boxes blank. Another note. 3 boxes blank. And there we go. And if I loop that round, and do that up here, just round that one bar, we can hear this kick drum pattern. And that's our 4 on the floor kick drum pattern. If you like, at this stage you can add an extra note. I might add an extra note in this last bar just to give it a little bit of variety, and it now sounds like this. Now we're going to add some snare drum. We've got choices of sound here. There's a hard snare, a snare clap, and another snare there. I'm going to use this snare, I think. I like that sound, and I might add a clap to it in a moment. So, in line with this, I'm going to put a note in above the second kick drum and above the 4th kick drum note. And there we go. And it sounds like this. I'm going to add a snare clap as well with that note, just to make that a little bit different. Here it comes. And just for a bit of variety, I'm going to add an extra snare note there, and we've got this. Have a listen. Okay, what I'm going to do now is add some closed hi-hats and some open hi-hats. There's closed hi-hat, sounds like this. There's the open hi-hat, which sounds like that. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit to see. Here comes my closed hi-hat rhythm. I'm going to put one there, one there, one there, one there. I'm really trying to keep this first rhythm simple. Club dance house rhythms are pretty simple. We can add some variation later on, but keep your first one as simple as you can. Don't go adding loads and loads of sounds and loads of notes. Yours should end up looking very similar to mine. I'm going to put an open hat there, an open hat there, open hat there, open hat there. If you put it in the wrong place, just pick it up and move it. Easy enough. Or if you decide when you listen that you want to move something, you just pick it up and move it. You don't even have to put your pencil tool back to do that. Let's have a listen to this. Here it comes. Good, I'm happy with that, and that's my first house dance drum rhythm. So I'm going to put my pencil back. I'm going to save my work because I didn't do that at the beginning. Must make sure to save File, Save As, and this one's going to be called Mr. Smith Dance Piece 1, and I'm going to save it on the desktop in my folder, and that's exactly what you should be doing. So call yours, your name, Dance Piece 1, save it on the desktop and find the folder with your name on it, save it there, make sure it's saved as a folder, not a package, click save, and we're good to go. And then every time you do a little bit of work, every 5 minutes or so, press Command S on your keyboard to save your work as you go along. Okay, we've done our first drum beat, but guess what? That's not the end of it. I want you to create 2 or 3, a little bank of drum beat ideas with little variations. Keep mostly the 4 on the floor, but make 3, at least 3 different ones, slightly different ones, and that's going to give you choices of which ones to use where in your piece later on. So I'll let you continue with that, and within the next hopefully 10 or 15 minutes you should have 3 house drum beats ready to use in your piece.